Okay, it generates a pattern like 4. You can generate a pattern for 10, 12, and after a long delay I am back. So what we are going to do today, we are going to make a project which is a number pattern generator, and I haven't opened it or looked at it at all, so I am going to give it a first look and build it on the go. So in this lab we will practice the basics of Python by building a small app that creates a number pattern. So these are user stories, we have to fulfill them. So we have to define a function named number pattern, and it's been a long time since I used the Python, so maybe there will be some syntax errors, but I know some of the things. So number pattern that is a single parameter n. So it was in parentheses and representing a positive integer. Pattern should do the for loop. Okay, for loop. How did we write the for loop? I could see the syntax for loop. For item, okay. So we have to write for and the item name in the loop. So we will write it as I in I don't know what it is, so I will just leave it for now like this. I will come back to it later. So number pattern n should return a string with all the letters, with all the integers starting from 1 up to n, included separated by space. For example, number pattern 4 should return the string 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, we have a number pattern function. These are the tests which we have to fulfill in order to make our code fast. So we have a number pattern function, and what we have to do, we have to have a parameter n in the number pattern function, and also that number pattern function should return a pattern starting from 1 till 10. Okay, we have learned about a function that returns a list, I think, of integers, which is range. It starts from, I have to look at it. Okay, immutable sequence of strings. Oh, yes, immutable sequence of integers. Okay, I have to know what it returns. Okay, it returns the sequence of integers. First is the start value, second is the stop, and the last stop value is not included. Okay, so we have to go from 1 till n, because you can see the pattern here. If we have given 4 or even 12, the pattern must start from the integer 1. So the starting value is 1 and the last value is the same as the integer that is given as a parameter. But as we have learned that the stop index will not be included, so what we have to do, we have to put n plus 1. So it will include n, but it will not include the this consecutive next integer to the n. I hope you get it. Okay, should return a space period list. How do we return a string? So I think we have to make a string here. String. Okay, I can just write it like this: pattern and empty string, and we can use augmented assignment operator for pattern plus equals to the I, which is the what we say, an integer at any given iteration of the for loop. Okay, after that we are going to return the string. Okay, so we have to do this pattern, and after that we also have to put a space after we have included that integer into our string. So yes, so now we will return our string back to the calling place. Okay, we have to return that string now, pattern, and okay, yes. So now what we can do, we can call the number pattern and give it 4 and check. Okay, it's not working. What's the problem? Can only concatenate str node. Okay, what we can do, so there is an error that we cannot concatenate an integer to a string. So what we can do, we can use the string constructor, I think, to do that. And okay, we have to use a print function to show the pattern. Yes, and it's working. Okay, so these tests are covered. Okay, this one is also covered. And what if we write 12, and yes, it's going from 1 till 12, and these two tests are still left, so we have to look at them now. So okay, we should not have a space after 4. What if I don't put +1? You can see that there is a space even after the last element. I'm just looking that how to eliminate that. So what I can do, I can just how to delete an element, an element from a string. We can use the slicing like pattern okay, just as we are going to return this string, what we can do, we can slice it from the starting index, so we are not writing it, to just the end index, so it will not include it. What we say, so we don't know what is the last index. So if I write -1, yes, but still, what if I write -2? Okay, still we have a space after that. Even if I am returning a string sliced, it's not taking that. So what I can do, I can also put an if statement here. If I is less than what we say n. So yes, we can do this. Let's see. But still we are getting a space. If the current element is less than the last element, then the second last element. No. Okay, now so it's working for that now. Yes, so what I did here, let me explain. So everything remained same. What I did, I just added an if statement that checks whether our current element in the for loop is less than the number given to us as a parameter. If yes, then add this space, and if we have reached that integer n, then don't add a space after adding an integer to that string. And yes, after that this loops end, we are returning that string, and we are showing it on the screen. So argument must be an integer value, should return when passed a value that is not integer. Okay, we have learned about function which was is instance, where we checked the data type of a variable or a value to a noun data type, and it returns true if both are same and else otherwise. So if n is an integer, it will return true. But we have to negate it because we are going to put a warning that argument must be an integer. So this will return true. Okay, so this will return true if both of if n is an integer, but we don't want to run this if statement. In that case, we have to do it otherwise. So what we can do, we can use not. What it will do, it will negate the result of this instance. So if integer, so if n is an integer, this instance will return true, not will negate it to false, and this if block will not be executed. But when this instance returns false when s is not an integer, then not will negate it to true, and then if statement will be executed. Very easy way to understand this not or negation with a single returning boolean value is that you have to think in terms that if this function does not run, then this if block will run. Okay, let's move on. So we have to return return string argument must be an integer value. Okay, so should return argument must be greater than it must be an integer greater than the 0 and passed a non-positive integer. Okay, we can just copy paste it because they are is exactly the same. We just have to change the condition here. So if n is a non-positive integer, meaning it is negative and it's less than 0, so argument must be an integer greater than 0. Okay, let's check it. Everything must be an integer greater than 0. Okay, what I'm doing wrong here? Non-positive integer. Let's check it. Yes, we are getting it. Argument must be an integer greater than 0. I am exactly returning it, but it's still giving an error. Yes, should return argument must be an integer greater than 0 when passed non-positive integer. I am exactly doing that. Argument, I even copy pasted from that. I don't know what is wrong here. Should return, number pattern should return. Okay, we are returning argument must be an integer greater than 0 when passed a non-positive integer. Okay, instead of rejecting all with me. Okay, I think if it's less than 1, then yes. So let me explain. It said all the non-positive integers, so and they has also pointed out here that it must be greater than 0, so we have to only get those numbers as the parameter which are at least greater than 1. Okay, 1 is not included here, so even if we give 1, it will generate a pattern for it. And yes, so this is it for today. We will cover up this whole chapter of loops and sequences tomorrow. Then we will move on to sets and dictionaries. Till then, Allah Hafiz.